How do you start a vlog? It's so silly. Welcome to my channel. My name is Tove, and yeah, today I'm sitting here in my kitchen and I'm about to start a new project. I'm about to start my a project that I've been looking at for a while. It's my first real brioche project. I did like a headband during the winter in brioche stitch. And I've done half fisherman rib project before, but never anything in full brioche. So I was thinking I would make this a vlog and take you guys with me. And the pattern I'm gonna cast on today is called Vandre by Lori Versaci, really? No. Okay. I'm gonna use Hobby Tweed Delight. It's a 85% wool, 10% acryl, 5% viscose. And it's a very light spun yarn in this lovely burgundy color with the tweed specks in blue, which I think is going to be really nice contrast. This is Tweed Delight in color 12 from Hobby. I did a couple days ago. I did the gauge swatch, and if you didn't know this, that the people that keeps their gauge swatches, I feel is a little bit overachievers. That is not me. So I don't have the gauge swatch. I ripped it out straight away. But I realized that in brioche stitch, the pattern calls for 15 stitches and something rows. Also, I'm not doing rows in gauge swatches. I'm only doing stitches. It's 15 stitches gauge for this pattern with 5mm needles, and I got 14 stitches gauge with 5mm needles, and I'm using my Chaigu wooden needles. Absolutely love these needles, and I will have a video about them in a bit. So with the extra ease you're supposed to have and all of that, I ended up using size 2. That will get me the pattern is American, so it will get me a 44-inch bust circumference, which is 112 centimeters, and that will give me about 8 centimeters ease, which I think is okay. If this becomes too, at least it shouldn't be too small. If it's too big and oversized, that would be perfect. Why I'm choosing this pattern is that I really like the front has these brioche panels that shapes the front, which I think is quite cool. With this yarn, I'm hoping also that it's going to be quite fluffy and quite bouncy, and brioche is of course bouncy, as you know. What I'm guessing at least is very bouncy. So with an unspun yarn, very lightly spun yarn, that could be quite cool. So yeah, the pattern calls for a long tail cast on. Oh yeah, again, the pattern is knit from bottom to top, and if you know me, I absolutely detest that. I hate that. And it's knit in panels, so you knit the back and then the front and then you sew it together. Even more, I hate that kind of thing as well. But since it's brioche, I do understand why you knit it in panels, because if you knit it in a round, you have to purl, like brioche purl, I think that's it. So you brioche knit and then yarn over, knit, yarn over, knit, yarn over, and then the other side it's knit, yarn, and knit, yarn, and knit, yarn over again, brioche knit. And if you do it in round, you have to do every other row in brioche purl. Yeah. So I understand why it's a panel, so I have accepted the panels. I understand sort of why it's bottom to top, because I guess it's easier to decrease than increase. Let's see, I don't know actually. I've accepted that. So, all in all that, I'm not doing a long tail cast on, I'm doing a tubular cast on, and I just learned how to do a tubular cast on. And I really like that. I really like the look of it. So I'm gonna do a tubular. No, I'm gonna do a. Yes, I'm gonna. Oh my god. I'm gonna do a tubular cast on, with 2 setup rows, and then I'm gonna do the rib. Which first the rib is one normal 1x1 rib, and then we're gonna start the brioche. Hello. Yeah. I never know how long the tail should be, but let's try. I have to do 85. Let's try that. Okay. So I have done exactly 1 project using this method of casting on. You can see that. So let's see how this goes. Hold on. So that's my first knit stitch. So that will be the purl. So that's knit, so I'm gonna do purl. Okay. No, that's a knit. That's a purl. Okay. 2. So clearly I don't have enough yarn. So let's go again. So that was 60. So I think I need like another. Okay. So let's do it again. This is the beauty of crafting it. And start again. That's 85 stitches, and then you do 2 setup rows, which is slip the purl stitch and knit the knit stitch, 2 rows. So you turn and you watch out the tail now so it doesn't roll around. So I did an uneven stitch cast on, so that means I ended with a knit stitch. When I then flip the work, I would start with a purl stitch. I wonder if you can, should I slip this or should I knit a purl? I think I'm gonna purl this one, because otherwise I don't think the yarn tail will, yeah. I'm just gonna purl the first one. Okay. Okay, and then you knit in the back loop and you slip with your yarn in the front on your the purl stitch, and then you knit in the back loop, and then you slip with the yarn in front, and then you knit in the back loop, and then you, it's definitely a little bit of the, it's definitely the cast on that's the most fidgety, and I feel like I don't have control. I guess it's because I'm, again, it's the second time I do it, but the cast on stitches tend to roll around. I don't know if you guys have tried this cast on and feel the same, but I just have to remember that you knit in the back loop. But knit in the back loop, knit in the back loop, because sometimes it feels like I should knit like in the front loop, but opposite, and that's then clearly wrong. Then I have to twist it, but knit in the back loop. Yeah, and then end up with a purl. So then that means that this is now the right side, because two stitches in the two edge stitches would be purl, and then you have the first knit. I don't know. Anyway, that was ending with a purl. So then I flip it around and do the second setup row. Same way, you knit the knit and you slip with yarn in front the purls. And yeah, I ended with a, this is so, I ended with a purl, so now it's a knit. Okay, so again, knit in the back loop and then slip the yarn in the front. Knit, now it's in the front loop. Okay, so you knit normal now. Yeah, because you flip them basically, right? Okay. Now, the first setup row was really wonky and really difficult. The second setup row works quite smoothly. Okay, that's two setup rows. It's already, you can see like it's already creating a rollover. And I find this method really, really nice because now I'm done. Now I'm set up and that's it. And now I can go on to the rib. So for the rib, it doesn't say that you should go down in needle size. So I won't do that. And I think it's because 1x1 rib and brioche stitch is quite different in like the size of the stitch. So it's different anyway. So I'm gonna keep my 5mm needle. And 5mm needle is really the thickest I would like to work on. I think it's quite bulky as of now. And the Trigu needle set I have only goes up to 5mm needles, so that's okay. Now I'm gonna do the rib, and this is the moment where, so I think now I should start with the wrong side. No, the right side. I did right side, wrong side, so that's two setup rows. Okay, and then it says that I should do 7 rows of 1x1 rib. So this is where my trusty little row counter comes in. I have chosen today to work with a purple lily with little cute little leaf. Do you see that even? It's very difficult to see. Now available on theyarngeneration.etsy.com. Whoa. My own row counters, and it's super simple to use. It has 10 rings for 10 rows, 1 ring per row, and you start on top here, and you put your needle in the top, and then with every row you go down 1. So when you come down to the lily, that's 10 rows. I need only 7, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I will start here and then go down, and then I know that I did 7. So I use my row counter when I go in the round. I use it as the beginning of round bore. And in flat, I think what I will do is I will do 2 stitches. So the first stitch you slip purlwise, and then you knit 1, and then I will put my row counter in. So 10, 9, 8, 7. Okay, so I will put it there. So this means now that this is 7 rows left, meaning I have not done the 7th row. That's 7 rows left, and then when I come back, I've done 2. So I then slip it into the 6th row, which I now have done. So the next row will then be 5 rows left, if that makes any sense. Yeah, until I get to the end of the row counter, and then I have my count. Super, super nice and simple. And here we go. Okay, well, I knitted now the rib. I ended with a wrong side row, so I don't know, 7 was not the right count. I guess it's because I did 2 setup rows, and I guess the tubular cast on only has 1 setup row. So I knit 1 more row, and now we're gonna start the brioche. And funnily enough, so this is the back, and so the shaping and the pattern will only happen on the front. So now it says in the pattern, anyway, it says in the pattern to knit 154 rows of brioche. And if I wouldn't have the row counter, I actually honestly don't know what I would do to count that. But I do have the row counter. So when you have more than 10 rows, what I do, and at least what I've been, what other people have also, what I've seen other people do, is that you take a stitch marker, just a regular light bulb stitch marker, and you place that in your row counter. You treat the row counter as 10, so 10 rows. But then you can also count multiple rows, multiple row counters, so by 10. So 1 is 10. So if I put my stitch light bulb to stitch marker in, let's say, the last one, that means I only have 10 rows left. If I put it in the second one to the top, I have 20 rows left. So if I put it here in the second like that, and I start up here, I knit 1, and when I come to the bottom, I move my stitch marker down 1 go, and I have 10 rows left. So this means I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So if I put my stitch marker up on top, it's 100 rows. Now it's 150 rows. So I will remember to first I will set it up as 54 rows. And then after that, I will do a complete 100 rows more. So how I set up 54 would be, let's see if I can now show this, would be 10, 20, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, plus 4. So I will put it in the 6th, okay? So I will place my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I will place my stitch marker in the 6th, but I don't have 6 full rows. So what I will do when I start now knitting is that I will start in the 4th from the bottom. So 4, and I will end, and I will put one stitch marker, one ring lower, and that would mean 50 full rows. And when I'm done with those, I have 100 rows left. Okay, so that's now, okay, so let's start with the brioche then. You slip the first one, and then you make, so that's the setup row is then a normal knit, and then you yarn over, so yarn over, okay, so you slip your first stitch, you even see that? You slip your first stitch, and then you knit the first, and then you, can you even? I don't even know. And you yarn over like that, and you knit, and you yarn over. And then when you come back to the other side, you brioche knit the 2 strands together as one knit, and then you knit the purl in between, so to say. So you keep the purl column, and you get this brioche stitch. Now, to keep track of what's right side or wrong side, I will also go and fetch a stitch marker soon. To understand what's front and what's back. What I'll do, I won't really show more than I'll do the first ball, so 50-gram ball, and then that's probably gonna be, will it be tonight? Maybe, we'll see. I'll work on this now, and then I'll show like every 50 grams maybe. Would that make sense? Until there's anything more fun to show than that. I will finish up the first row at least. The edge stitch, yeah, okay, right. Okay, so then you can see that it's these like yarn over stitches. So let me see, that's the normal knit, and then you have this purl yarn over slip with yarn over, so you get like a double yarn, and that you brioche knit on your way back. So you take both of them at the same time. There you go. And now I'm on. Okay, well, see you later. All right. Yeah, it's still light outside. The perks of, yeah, the Netherlands in June. It's very nice. Okay, so there you go. Once you get into this, I mean, it's a couple of hours work, 1.5 hours work, about. When you get into it, it's quite, it's a very good flow. I didn't think that it was going to be that nice of a flow. It's definitely nicer than rib or normal purl knit, because it's knit, yarn over, slip, knit, slip, knit, slip, knit. So once you get into it, it's quite nice. It's not intellectually stimulated, so my series is definitely coming in handy now. Usually I don't spend the whole evening on one project, but all right, so today I did. So now let's see when I pick this up again. So this is now the first 50-gram ball. And I've reached, I have 110, 118, is that correct? No, yes, 118 rows left. So yeah, I did a good chunk. This is gonna be a multi-part vlog because no one's gonna sit and watch a 3-hour movie. Although I hear compilations is a really good thing. The algorithm like compilation videos of 3 hours, so maybe in the end I'll pop them all together. Then you definitely need some popcorn if you're gonna watch that all together. But anyway, so this will be the end of part 1. Let's see how long it's gonna take me to get somewhere for part 2. I'm thinking, of course, I mean, this is just the back, so anyway, I think I will cast on and do the rib and the first part of the brioche on the front as well. When I get bored by the back, and then do like maybe simultaneous knitting on front and back. I will see. I'm very happy with the difference between the rib and the brioche stitch. Can you see that the rib is really stitched in and the brioche stitch is now like flailing out? So that's gonna be quite good, I think. But yeah, it's big. I wonder what the gauge actually became to the end. That's always the case with my project, and that's the fun with the knitting. You never know. In the end, trust the process, guys. Trust the process. All right. I'm gonna go to bed now. Have a good evening, and I'll see you in the next part. Bye.